What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video, and welcome to your stimulus package update, infrastructure update, and daily news report for Monday, October 25th. We are now starting to come to the end of the infrastructure talks. This is really good news. So today I'm going to address the new updates that we got this morning. I'm going to talk about student loan forgiveness and defaults that we are potentially going to see there, and this is coming within the next few months. We're also going to address Social Security problems as well. Then I'll dive into some vaccine news at the end. So again, hopefully you guys had an incredible weekend. Hopefully your week is going to go great this week, but let's dive into the update for today. First, I just want to ask, if you enjoy these daily uploads, can you do me a favor? Go ahead, hit that like button. It really does help out the channel. So let's get into the update for today. Nancy Pelosi has said that Democrats want to get these infrastructure talks done and finalized this week. She does not want to push this off. President Biden, he says he wants to have his climate change policy finalized, which is going to be in the human infrastructure bill. He wants to have this finalized before he heads off to the climate summit later on this week. Progressives say they understand that they won't get everything in the bill, but what we are hearing from progressives is they want to see this bill finalized this week as well, so that they can start working on the next bill very soon. Many say, and reports have indicated, that we do not expect to really pass everything in this bill, but at some point over the next year or so, everything that progressives have been discussing, they want to pass. So that means if we are going to see the infrastructure talks, progress, great. Chances are we're going to see the next bill, the next stimulus package, or human infrastructure part 2, 2.0, whatever you want to call it. We will see that done and finalized sometime into the middle to late part of 2022. So, just to give you an idea, right now lawmakers are saying that they will pass everything that they want. However, it's going to take some time. So just keep that in mind, because right now, we know discussions do not go fast. We know negotiations are so slow, but especially during a midterm election next year, well, we're going to see what happens then. But honestly, I wouldn't anticipate a bill happening late in 2022. If it happens, it's going to be the earlier to middle part of 2022, but that's not what lawmakers are expecting. So we'll see what happens there. We also heard from Senator Chris Murphy. He said that senators have agreed to be flexible with this upcoming human infrastructure bill. He states that right now they just want to get an agreement done on this bill, get it finalized. He said, now is the time to get it done, but we need to compromise here. So again, we'll see if this actually happens. One senator stated that we must get this bill passed. We must get this bill passed. He says, without this bill, children who rely on the child tax credit payments, those $3,000 or $3,600 payments per year, they will not be getting those payments. Those are $250 to $300 per month that is coming to these families. Right now, they say children who rely on the child tax credit payments won't have anything to help feed them or to keep a roof over their head. And in just 68 days from today, these payments are going to stop. That will be January 1st. There will be no additional payments. In just 51 days from today, that will be the final child tax credit payment of $250 to $300 per child, unless Congress passes this human infrastructure bill, which currently has 1 year of the child tax credit payments included. So, there's a lot in this bill. There's a lot of stuff being negotiated. Okay, there's a lot on the line here. Progressives are saying that this has to get done. Progressive Ro Khanna said yesterday that President Biden would not be happy if both bills didn't pass before he leaves to Glasgow later on this week. Ro Khanna said, and I quote, "The president looked us in the eye and said, 'I need this before I go represent the United States in Glasgow. American prestige is on the line. Many members understand that. We're working very hard to get a deal. I understand we're close, and I'm confident we're going to get there.'" That's what Ro Khanna said. Now, there's a lot of stuff that they're still going back and forth on. However, the majority of the bill is done. The majority of the bill has been agreed upon. There is still one holdout, that is Kyrsten Sinema. Whether or not she agrees to how things will be taxed. According to reports, Senator Joe Manchin, he likes where the negotiations have gone. He is upping his red line from $1.5 trillion now up to 1.75. There was a couple reports this morning saying that people who didn't want to be named, they said that Senator Joe Manchin agrees with at least $1.75 trillion. However, they expect the bill will be a little bit higher than that. The expectation is at this point, coming from the White House, it's going to be about $1.8 to $1.9 trillion. But again, we'll see if Senator Manchin and Sinema both agree with that. Now, even though there's a big push for a lot of things in this bill, okay, there's another big provision that I want to explain because this could actually cause additional delays, okay? Here's what's being talked about. President Biden wants to provide child care workers with a higher hourly wage. Currently, they're making about $12 an hour, but he says we need to keep that at $15 minimum. So a new minimum wage for child care workers at $15 per hour. Now we know there's going to be a lot of people that are for this to help out child care workers, obviously, but the problem is the Senate parliamentarian will not go for this in a budget reconciliation. So lawmakers are discussing ways to try to get this into the bill to provide more stability to this industry, to try to attract workers back because so many people left. Here's what we know. Right now, more people are going to benefit from this bill when they're low to middle income households because in the bill it stipulates that you will not pay more than 7% of your income towards child care. That is huge. That's going to save people thousands of dollars per year in child care alone. This is most likely going to get parents to go back to work. People that have been staying home because you know what? Child care is just too expensive. Can't afford child care. I don't make that much in my job, but if we start getting paid more in our jobs, child care actually comes down, then, and only then, people will start going back to work. Our supply chain issues will be fixed, right? The worker shortages, well, we'll fix that pretty quick. That's at least what's the expectation. But again, the good news is that there's still discussions on this. So I know for people that don't have children, they're probably thinking, well, what's in this for me? Well, really what's in this for you? Because if you don't have children, you're not going to save any money on childcare, obviously. But if you don't have children, you will still be impacted because if we can fix the labor shortage right now, then everything's going to get better. Businesses will start opening up, right? Hopefully we can get out of this entire pandemic, finish that, right? Put that in the rearview mirror, walk away from that, right? And we can get back to our normal lives. That's the overall goal. So, does this help everybody? It does in a way, but maybe not directly. So, let's address the issues, big issues, facing the 5.9% cost of living adjustment for Social Security recipients. Economists are saying that 5.9% for the cost of living adjustment is a double-edged sword. It seems like a really good idea that the average person is going to get about $92 extra per month because of this Social Security increase. Now, while the Social Security check will look bigger, the other costs are increasing even more than that 5.9%. Now, they say that these are the price increases that will eat away at your check. Okay, I'm just going to read you a handful of them. Food. Prices for food have already gone up, but they're expected to go up another 2%, 2 to 2.5% in 2022. That's a small increase compared to how much they've already gone up. And again, we still got this supply chain issue, worker shortages, which are going to compound this problem. Housing. This is another increase that is going to eat away at your check. You may be renting a place or you may actually own your own home. Doesn't matter. You will still be impacted. According to reports, rents are going to go up about 7% in 2022. We're already seeing they are going up. And that this small increase of your cost of living adjustment at 5.9%, but yet your rent goes up 7%, that's going to eat away at it right there. But then they say, what if you own your home? Okay, don't pay rent. Well, your mortgage is fixed in most cases, but what aren't your fixed costs? What aren't fixed? Well, insurance, that will most likely go up. Property taxes. If prices keep increasing, prices keep climbing, property taxes are going to increase as well, which means you will have to pay more money. And we don't even know exactly how much your property is going to increase. Property taxes aren't dependent on the whole entire United States. They're more specific to your location. So again, that's going to be up in the air right there. We also know heating and electricity costs are going to go up. Experts anticipate that heating costs are going to increase by at least 21 to 25% in 2022 alone. That's insane. That's insane. Prescription drug costs are going to go up as well. This is something that many of you have already addressed, but reports indicate that premiums for prescription drug plans will go up 5% in 2022. And Medicare Part D, this is going to increase by 7.6%. 7.6%, but yet we get a 5.9% cost of living adjustment. There's no way people are going to come out ahead. There's no way Social Security recipients are going to come out ahead on this one. Everybody's going to have less money than they did before. So again, it's not great news, but that is one of the problems. Let's also talk about another problem. This is student loan repayments that will be coming back very soon. According to multiple reports, and I'm going to bring you some stats here that are pretty shocking, but federal student loans currently have a payment pause it's going to be in effect until January 31st. At this time, borrowers are going to be responsible for paying back these debts, but again, some of these people haven't paid a payment in over a year, many even longer than that. Many didn't have to make a payment since March 2020? Okay, so yeah, it's like year and a half? Almost 2 years now? That's a long time. But let me give you some interesting stats. 10.8% of student borrowers default on their educational loans within the first year of repayment. 42.8% of borrowers with loans in default owe more than $20 but less than $40,000. $20,000 to $40,000. 42.8% of those. 42.9 million Americans have federal student loans, which means 1 out of every 8 people in the United States have a student loan. And here's the big one, and this one is shocking. 7.3 million borrowers were in default back in March of 2020. Here's why I bring this stat up. 7.3 million Americans were in default back in March 2020. And then, so they were having issues back then to pay off these student debts. And then we went through this entire pandemic. Many people probably lost their jobs, racked up other credit card debt and other debts, and so have no way to pay their other debts, and there's definitely no way to pay a student loan. 7.3 million Americans. That is huge. Again, these people have not made a payment or were required to make a payment in over a year. So many of them still don't have a job. Without any additional stimulus help, nobody's going to be able to make these payments, right? We know another stimulus check isn't coming at this time. Unemployment benefits, we do not have the extended unemployment benefits. We don't have that $300 per week boost or $1,200 per month. It's not there. According to experts, President Biden will need to forgive some student loan debt. But, and this is where things get very shocking, rumor has it, according to multiple reports, that President Biden is waiting. And I don't know if it's mainly President Biden. I just want to point that out. It could be more of the administration is waiting to see how bad this student debt fallout is going to be before they decide to cancel any more student debt. Let that sink in. They want to wait to see how bad the potential fallout is going to be before they decide to cancel any more student debt. That's crazy. Last week we heard from the Education Secretary, Miguel Cardona, and he said federal loan borrowers should expect to restart payments come February. He said that the White House is working with the Department of Justice on canceling student debt, seeing what they can and can't do, but said that President Biden is trying to pass broad student loan forgiveness, which is what's making this entire process a little more difficult than targeting specific groups of people. So at least he gave a statement there. Now, if you have student loans and are worried about how you will pay them off, how you're going to pay for them, here's what's being addressed right now. Here's what experts are saying. Experts are saying to try to refinance your student loans. That's the first thing you need to do. The second thing, enroll in an income-driven repayment plan. If you do these two things, it should be fairly easy for you to repay your student loans. But if you do not have an income, don't try to refinance a student loan, because most are not going to give you any better options. If you don't have an income, nobody is going to really help you out. So you at least need some form of income. It doesn't matter if you make $500 a month or $5,000 a month. You need to have some type of income to show that yes, you can make a payment of some kind. It may not be the biggest payment, but it will be something. So that's what we know there. And again, as I know more regarding the student loans, forgiveness, even the cancellation, payment pauses, whatever, I promise I'll fill you in on those updates. Now, regarding vaccines, I want to address this because right now multiple business groups are asking the White House to simply delay the vaccine mandate until after the holidays. And I want to explain why. They argue that this mandate would only make the labor shortages and supply chain issues a little bit worse. This mandate that they're fighting for right now, again, if you're not familiar with this, it's for private companies with over 100 employees or more. They have to mandate that all their employees get vaccinated, or they get weekly tests and they have to test negative. So that's big. Studies show that 3 out of 10 unvaccinated employees would actually leave their jobs over a vaccine or testing mandate. 3 out of 10. That's pretty big, being that we're already seeing labor shortages. This isn't going to help. This would not help. And so right now, they are saying that we need to just delay this until after the holidays. The Biden administration, sometime today, they're actually going to announce, and this should help, but they're actually going to announce that they're going to try to make at-home rapid tests more readily available and cheaper to buy. Okay? Companies say that they should not be required to pay this excess amount of money in order to buy these at-home rapid tests for their employees, when really the tests are too expensive and they're hard to get. So how can we be required to do all these additional things? We're just trying to run our company, and things are already difficult at this time. And just to give you an idea, okay, just give you a quick little idea. I wanted to see how much were these at-home tests. I could do a little search on Google and I could probably find it. But I decided, you know what? Everyone says they're just so hard to get. I decided I was going to go to a couple different pharmacies and see how many they actually had. So I went to a pharmacy. They had nothing. They didn't have any. They were sold out. Didn't even know what the price was. Went to the next one. Didn't have a test. They were sold out as well. So I went to another pharmacy. Had to drive a little bit further, went to another pharmacy. They had no test either. They were all sold out. That's the issue. Right now, businesses are saying, how can we test our employees if everybody is sold out, if we cannot get our hands on these tests? So today, the Biden administration is going to announce how they plan to make these more readily available and a little bit cheaper to buy. So according to reports, that how they're going to make these cheaper is they're going to take money from the $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan and pay for some of these themselves. So we'll see what this does, if this helps, but that is what we know as of right now. So again, I just want to thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you have a wonderful rest of your day. If you enjoyed today's video, go ahead, hit that like button, consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.